Yeah, so my name is Taryn Henning. I'm the director here at the Violence Intervention and Prevention Center on campus. And I have been in this field around sexual violence prevention for coming up on 5 years now. When I first got into it, I was a prevention educator at a local rape crisis center here in Lexington. And so my entry point into this work was really from a passion of working with young folks. Most of the people who I was working with were middle and high school age, and then some college age as well. And really just having the opportunity to engage them in an important social justice issue. So that was kind of my entry point into the field. I have met so many amazing young folks and young adults in this time that I've been in this work, and feel very inspired by them every day. And so that's some of what's kept me here. Yeah, so when someone experiences a sexual assault or any kind of sexual violence, it can have a wide range of effects mentally on a person. And that really is just going to depend on each individual as to how they react to it. So some folks might just kind of numb to the situation. It can be where someone develops depression around the trauma that they experience, might develop some anxiety around that. Other folks, it really just depends on how each individual reacts. You can have other people where if someone looked at them externally, it might seem like nothing had ever happened. They might live their lives in what seems like a perfectly normal kind of way. And then other people, there are correlations between sexual violence and substance abuse. And so with that can be something like maybe someone is having a hard time kind of processing what they experienced, and they might be trying to find tools to kind of numb to that. And so sometimes folks get into substance abuse as a way of self-medicating, but then you can also have people who maybe they self-medicate in ways that are more productive. Maybe they start a fitness plan, or maybe they start going to therapy and talking to someone, or take up an art or a hobby. So there's really a wide range of reactions that folks can have, and a wide range of effects that it can have on someone mentally. So with that, it's a little tricky to say because I'm not an expert on prison environments and not really familiar with the inner workings of prison environments, but I can say that within a prison you have a different kind of culture than what we might see in the general society outside of a prison. And so anytime you have subcultures, some of the effects of sexual violence may look a little bit different, or even some of the causes of sexual violence may look a little bit different. And so also when we talk about prevention work and how do we do that within different subcultures, we need to adapt the tools that we use to meet those needs of whatever the subcultures are. So just speaking very broadly, it would look differently in a prison environment, absolutely. In terms of specifics for how that would look, I probably am not the best person to speak to that. I think everyone is entitled to environments where they aren't threatened and where their well-being is valued. I think it would be hard to say that there is one thing that has been the most effective prevention effort that someone's taken, because there's so many different situations that could lead to sexual violence happening. So some of that really is going to depend on the situation. For some people, if, say for example, if we have a friend who is in an abusive relationship and we see some warning signs that there's abuse happening, then finding ways that we can step in and intervene that feel safe to us to help keep our friends safe, that could be the perfect, most effective thing to happen in that situation. Or can be simple things like really just in general looking out for our friends, having some awareness. Other things that can be really helpful are making sure we know what are some red flags that sexual violence might be about to occur, or even if someone has experienced it already, and something's happened that we couldn't have prevented, then knowing ways that we can support someone who's survived sexual violence, and those kinds of things can be really helpful as well.